What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. Today I have some exciting Pokemon news for you that not only has to do with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but also some of the older gen games. So if you're interested in hearing what the latest news is, then just keep on watching, and if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe because it helps to grow out, and give this video a thumbs up so we can push it out into the YouTube algorithm so that more Pokemon fans can see it. And if you would like another way to support the channel, please feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. Plus, I just added a limited Valentine's Day drop on my store. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the news. So in case you missed the Nintendo Direct yesterday, they actually announced that you're going to be able to play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games directly from your Switch as long as you have a Nintendo Online account. Those of you that have the normal Nintendo Online account will be able to play the Game Boy games for free, and those of you that have the Nintendo Online account plus the expansion pack will be able to play the Game Boy Advance games for free. With games like Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Mario Kart, The Legend of Zelda, and a ton more being available to currently play. And this is all really cool because who doesn't love a good retro game? But this isn't even what got the Pokemon community hyped up. It was what they were supposed to be adding in the near future, and that would be the Pokemon trading card game. And this is because by them adding the Pokemon trading card game to the Nintendo Switch, this opens the door for all of the Pokemon retro games, which can you even begin to imagine how cool that would be? And it would honestly be smart on Nintendo's end to do that, because one, even if you still have your old handhelds, the Pokemon retro games that are on the market right now are so grossly overpriced. And two, this would stop people from using emulators because they would just be able to play the games that they love directly from their Switch, and Nintendo still makes money from, you know, the online accounts. But this has got people so hyped up that even big PokeTubers like Philly Beats You are literally making bingo cards for this year's Pokemon Presents, since that's when everyone thinks that these other retro games are going to be announced to be added to the Switch, with people having high hopes of being able to play their old favorites like the Red, Blue, and Yellow games, Emerald, Gold and Silver, and Ruby and Sapphire. And obviously they're hoping for some news on the newer gen games as well. But people have high hopes for this year's Pokemon Presents, especially since they just added the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games to the Switch. So it's looking like it might be a good year to be a Pokemon fan. In addition to that really big and exciting news about the retro games, we also do have a little bit of news regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and that's that this image here was actually leaked of all of the sprites that are supposed to be tied to Pokemon Home, which were actually all made in the Gen 9 style. But I know you're probably thinking, why do I care about all these Pokemon Home sprites? How is that important? Well, people are noticing something a little interesting about these sprites. And that's that not only are the normal sprites on there, for example, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur, but what's this right next to it? That's a Mega. Same thing with Charizard. Here we have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. But look here! Over here we got Charizard X and Y. Same thing for Blastoise, Beedrill, the list goes on. And so of course this leads people to question, why are they adding the sprites for the Mega evolutions of these Pokemon if Megas aren't in the game? And according to the original user that tweeted out this leaked picture, they state that this should explain the leaked icons in the VGC streams, since there were a couple of leaked sprites during one of the VGC live streams where people were able to see sprites that were not for Pokemon that were currently in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But he goes on to say, and Megas are in, since internally they're alternate forms unlike Gigantamax. So obviously they want to err on the side of caution and they don't want to give people any like false hope or anything. So what this person is saying is that Megas are included in these sprites because they are counted as an alternate form, unlike Gigantamax forms. But of course, despite the original tweeter erring on the side of caution, it has not stopped people from speculating that this may be a confirmation that Megas will be returning in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and is confirming that we will get some sort of Kalos DLC. Now, me personally, I'm more of a realistic thinker, and I'll say there's maybe a very small chance that would happen, but I would say that it's more likely that something like that won't happen. But I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. Do we think that we're gonna get the rest of the Pokemon retro games added to the future? And do we think that these leaked sprites are actually confirmation that Megas will be making a return and that we will be going to Kalos in the DLC? Me personally, the Kalos thing, I'm very weary about. But when it comes to the Pokemon retro games, I have very high hopes for that. It just makes sense for them to do that. But that's gonna wrap it up for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.